Why, hello everyone. Welcome to the SLS Wrestling Podcast Elimination Chamber episode. You might be wondering, we're a bit early today. Fortunately, things have come up. Either we did it or we didn't do it, and we're just going to go on the ball. We're going to go straight away. Of course, I'm the host, Sugar Ray. Of course, he's the co-host that everyone comes to see, not me. Legion. How you going, Legion?
Hello.
How you going, sir?
I am trying to be good. I won't go into it, but
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna have probably about an hour of talk and all that stuff. So I'm really looking forward to it. Let's quickly talk about we had our initial thoughts of the Rumble, and now since we've had a bit of time to let it, marinate and all that stuff. What were your thoughts about Jey Uso winning the Rumble? Because I'm still in shock.
Okay, now with the shock over, officially.
Yeah.
I'm actually all for it, because he deserves this.
Yep.
100%.
Yep.
I'm exactly the opposite of what the internet states about him, saying pretty much how everybody keeps saying, like, why him, blah 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 blah. It's like, he's bad. Like, so was a lot of other wrestlers in the past, but.
Do you want me to bring up the main reason why? I'm sorry to interrupt you. You want me to bring up the and also Yeet as well. So you want me to bring up the biggest reason why I think he actually does deserve it, and that there was last year sometime he outsold in the merch sales Cody Rhodes, CM Punk, and Roman Reigns combined. All three of those, like, CM Punk, a generational superstar, and that, even when he wasn't in this company, people still chanting his name. That's how much of a person, an amazing superstar he is in that.
Yeah,
Cody Rhodes.
You're even pretty much hearing about him in other promotions, which is amazing.
Yeah. And then Cody Rhodes, he's the WWE's, poster boy now and that. And Roman Reigns, the original Tribal Chief. And this guy who's been marketed as he's only a tag team wrestler and that. He outsold all three of them combined. I know he's probably a bit super kick heavy, but apart from that, I've enjoyed his work in that. And you see with the crowd, when he's coming out of the crowd and doing the yeet and all that, they're just fully into it. And
there's, I wouldn't say as over as him, but there was one other person that did exactly what he did, because he was only known as a tag team wrestler at the time.
Yeah.
And he got over real over, but he got over as a heel, not a face. Edge.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. It's funny. It's funny how him winning and the internet wrestling community that we're a part of, went and had a big, big song and dance about that. Imagine if John Cena win, we would have had the same thing as well. Oh, why aren't they pushing superstars?
Why they have a part timer win? Blah 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 blah.
Yeah. So
it doesn't matter who wins. It's gonna be an uproar.
Yeah, and that. So I'm really happy. I would have been happy if Cena won. I actually picked Cena as well. So
and I did a little research. Nobody, and I mean nobody, predicted Jey Uso.
Yeah,
would get that far.
I had a look at the. We'll get onto the news here in a second. I had a look at the odds, and he was about 50-1, I think. Actual betting as well. You'd love to be in the WWE to hear who's actually going to win and then go put a bit of money on that and that. Anyway, it's we probably shouldn't be talking about stuff like that. So,
and all I gotta say is they picked the wrong person to win the Women's Rumble. I'm sorry.
Look,
it's Charlotte Flair.
Yeah,
she returned. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She doesn't need to win the Rumble to get to where she is.
I mean, I predicted that she was going to be the first two-time ever winner, and that. So, I mean, I wouldn't have minded if it would have been a shock if Roxanne Perez had won.
That would be a heck of a shock.
Yeah.
But if she puts over Tiffany at Mania,
I think she will.
It'll be justified.
Yeah.
But if she wins,
yeah,
that'd be a huge uproar in everywhere.
If she wins clean, I'll be an uproar. If she wins dirty, I can sort of understand that and that.
It'll still be an uproar.
Yeah, it'll still be an uproar, but
not as much.
But if she wins clean, remember when she beat Asuka to stop the streak clean? I went okay.
Oh
yeah, I went that was a really bad decision in it. So we'll see. Mania is you know, what, about a month away? Even, yeah, a bit more than a month away. But we got to get through Elimination Chamber, which segues into this thing. We talked about the Rumble. This is my question, and anyone else who wants to answer it as well, do the YouTube thing, Legion, if you want to do a quick thing for your YouTube and that, where this episode will be going after this pretty soon. So have a look there and that. So talked about the Rumble, who Mr. Royal Rumble was, and we probably should have asked who Mrs. Royal Rumble is. Probably the answer now, Mrs. Royal Rumble, Charlotte Flair, unfortunately. But who is Mr. and Mrs. Elimination Chamber? What about you? Who do you think is Mr. and Mrs. Elimination Chamber? Legion?
I would say for Mr. Elimination Chamber, well, he doesn't, in my opinion, it's got to be Triple H, 100%.
Yeah, I think I had a look at it, and the there's been like 30 matches between the men's and the women's and that, and he's won 4 of them. So, and most of those wins were in the Reign of Terror, as has been known now, when Triple H held the title in 2003 to 2006. Yeah,
and it was like, you know, when somebody won the title, Brock Lesnar, you would hear Brock Lesnar's music as a meme.
Yeah.
Back then, it was Triple H.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, we'll go over more in the Elimination Chamber results as well, like the stats and all that stuff. But yeah, I'd probably have him as Mr. Elimination Chamber. But there is someone coming for that title as well, which I'll get to later on in that. As far as Mrs. Elimination Chamber, I know I know who you're gonna say, but let me throw this stat at you. There have been 6 women Elimination Chambers, couple tag teams and all that stuff. Liv Morgan has appeared in, this will be her 5th one this week. She is not yet to win any, unfortunately, but I'm just throwing that up there. I know you're going to throw your name right now, but I'd say probably Liv Morgan is Mrs. Elimination Chamber at the minute. So,
I'm like, I do not disagree. I'm you know me, I have always been a Liv Morgan fan, but
yep,
he's not. I would honestly go with Alexa Bliss personally.
Yeah, she's
for one, she's the first women's elimination chamber winner.
Yeah,
so first off.
Yep. We'll get into the more stats as well later on in that, but we should get to the news as well because we're kind of on a time crunch and all that stuff. We weren't going to talk about this, but let's just go ahead straight away. And that the Rock promo on SmackDown this previous week. Number one, as soon as I saw the tweet that they were saying, I think it was like a day before or 2 days before, saying the final boss was going to appear at SmackDown, I immediately went, yay, oh no. And that I thought he's going to insert himself in the main event, which he kind of has at the minute. But your thoughts on the promo? Number one.
All I got to say is, I'm going to show you something that blew me away.
Okay.
Especially when, at the end of the promo, when he says, I want your soul.
Are we going back to Mortal Kombat?
Shang Tsung.
Yeah. But by the way,
Shang Tsung.
Yeah, The Rock is Shang Tsung, and Cody is Liu Kang. Liu Kang's brother, sorry. So, yeah. Oh, by the way, I love Mortal Kombat as well. I know it was a terrible movie, but come on, I love it.
OG. Wait,
yeah.
You're talking about movies.
Yeah, the OG.
It has to be the OG.
Yeah. I didn't. I know we've started to suddenly become a movie reviewing channel now. I didn't mind the remake and that, but the guy with the Aussie accent was just annoyed me. I know.
I didn't see the remake, so
it's okay. I will say that was not as much gore as I wanted. Anyway, we'll talk about movies next time. Suggest a movie you can get us a review. Anyway, I understand the promo was clunky at times, and most people going what and that, but what they're trying to do here with The Rock and Cody, obviously, if you remember back with Steve Austin and Vince McMahon in, I think, 98, when Vince got Steve Austin to come out in a suit and all that stuff, wanted him to be his champion, and that. I know the promo got a lot of crap and all that stuff, and that. I could kind of see what they're going and that, but yeah. What do you think is going to happen with this promo? And they're expected to, Cody has to give his answer at Elimination Chamber, so, yeah. What do you think will happen there? I know we're going to talk about more at Elimination Chamber, but yeah.
I'll give my 2 cents on this one later because it ties into things.
Yeah.
My predictions.
Were you a fan of the promo or not a fan? Like, I'm 50.
I enjoyed the promo because because the shock that Cody had during the entire promo is pretty much me. Like,
Yeah,
what is going on here?
yeah. There was a lot of
Because the Rock starts all buddy buddy, then turns heel mid
yeah,
promo.
yeah. He's kind of doing that a lot now as well. It's we all know the Rock is on the TKO board and is obviously the real life boss in that, which I'm seeing a lot of similarities to when Vince was running the show and that. So I think the Rock is a more talented boss and wrestler than Vince and that, but I'm really interested to see where this goes because I've got a prediction as well that I'll save for WrestleMania as well, and that I have predicted in a fantasy booking as well. And if WWE are watching my fantasy booking, and go, oh, that's a good idea. Can you actually, send me a message, start giving me some royalties, or put me on your story booking in that? Because I would do it. I'd do it for I don't know. I'd be really cheap.
Put you on the Titantron like they do those other streamers.
I'm still waiting. We have to give the really, like, oh my god reactions and that. So, and that. So we might have to practice in that for Elimination Chamber this week as well. So, by the way, we'll be streaming Elimination Chamber. Feel free to come join us in that. So, times we'll let you know when it gets closer to the day and that. So, yeah. Anyway, I think that's a bit enough of the promo and all that stuff. Like I said, I enjoyed the Rock's promo and that. Let's get on to a bit of sad news. There's been a lot of releases lately, not only in WWE but TNA AEW as well. I'm pretty sure there's TNA, but we're going to cover the releases in WWE and AEW and that. Let me just go over the few that happened recently in that. So let's go to WWE first. We had, just getting my list here, don't mind me. I'll go through the names individually and you will just see what do you think. Yes, no, maybe. Number one, Duke Hudson, who is there's a good story about Duke Hudson I will tell any Australians that are here. If you're Australian, let me know and I'll tell you the story on that. But Duke Hudson, I don't know what you thought. He was in NXT. The rumour that was given is Triple H and see him going beyond NXT and that. And I, would you want to stay in NXT and that? So
yeah, there's a lot of stars that would flourish only in NXTs. Like they wouldn't do good on the main roster.
Yeah,
NXT is. How do I put it?
It's developmental, but it's
upbeat.
not developmental, and that they really need to. Like the next two I'm going to talk about, the Authors of Pain. When they came back, it was amazing at that, but they really did nothing with them. I know they're in the Final Testament, and they had a match at Mania with Cross against the Prophets and Lashley, which was one of my favorite matches of the weekend as well. I really enjoyed it. I'm glad they made a thing, but they're the same. They kind of flourished in NXT and then really didn't. They tried with them.
I'm brain farting on the name right now. It's an OG team, Bradshaw and Farouk.
Oh, the Acolytes. The APA.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, Acolytes APA.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I knew who it was. I'm brain farting on the name. If they brought the Authors of Pain in a similarity as them,
yeah,
it'd be amazing.
Yeah.
Pretty much them just has hired muscle to carrying Cross.
I will say number one thing. I think the personality-wise, they don't hold anything to Bradshaw and Farouk, who are very dry-witted and funny guys, and that
But you know what I mean? Them just like bouncers, bodyguards in general.
Yeah.
It's like, and just them causing havoc.
Yeah. I could see that, and that
if they were doing that, I'll be all for it.
Yeah.
But they were just there.
Yeah. They were just there, and that guys like them, I think they deserve better. And that's so like the work they did in NXT, especially with good working teams like DIY. They had a tag team ladder match at it was a main event at one of the pay-per-views, and it was really good in that. So I think they'll find more work in that. Well, hopefully, do you think they'll go? Do you think they'll might end up in AEW or TNA?
I think they be. To be honest, I think they'll flourish more in AEW.
Yeah.
With the way their gimmick is.
Yeah. We had Cedric Alexander. There's rumor that he's going to AEW with the Hurt Syndicate.
Yeah, that one I saw coming.
Yeah.
Months ago.
Yeah.
That was just a given.
Yeah. I think if he wants to go there and do that, I'm more for it because the Hurt Business winner in the WWE was a really good stable, and that.
Yeah.
This one shocked me a little bit because she was. I know the group wasn't getting over, but I still think she was the most talented of them. Sonya Deville was.
Yeah,
I,
'cause
yeah.
in all honesty, her in ring, I was not a fan of her in ring, but when she was that authority figure back in the day,
Yeah.
I was like, she was good.
Yeah.
Like if they would have brought her back as an authority figure again, like to they were on Raw, right?
Yeah. She was like the
If
underling to Adam Pearce, and that. So.
If they would have brought her back as doing that again.
Yeah.
Pretty much that I think she would have been better.
Yeah,
than what she was doing.
I agree. There's a bit of a rumor that Ava's going to get called up to the main, and I'm going to run a theory by you. I think she'll replace Adam Pearce, and Adam Pearce will go to NXT as the.
I've heard rumors that he's going to get replaced.
Yeah. How would you feel? I mean, I've enjoyed Ava more as the authority figure than the wrestler. No offense to her, and that she could probably beat me up in that. So, but her as an authority figure, I've really gotten into in that. So yeah, yeah. But Sonya Deville, like the pure fusion. Are they still together? Zoe Stark and.
They might be still together. I don't know.
I feel like Zoe Stark and Shayna Baszler will actually be better without Sonya Deville, quite personally. So.
Honestly, what I say is let Zoe Stark flourish on her own.
Yeah, she does have. I will say her mic skills are a bit lacking, and that. So hopefully she can improve that. Let's go to the next one. Okay, this one really shocked me. Blair Davenport. Like I went, what the hell?
That one really didn't shock me that much because how often was she really used?
Yeah, and that like she was
like yes they should have she got called up. If you're gonna get called up, have something for her.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're not gonna have her, keep her where she's at.
Yep, I agree, and that so they called her up. She had a few matches. I think she only had like 6 matches, and then yeah.
Was it like I thought it was like 2 or 3.
I have to actually get the things in that, but I could see her flourishing anywhere else in that. So best of luck to her. Same with Sonya Deville. Like I wouldn't mind seeing her in TNA, AEW.
In all honesty, I see Blair going to TNA.
Yeah.
That's personal.
We'll move on. The OC. It really sucks with the OC because they are really great in other organisations, and I don't think they've been really. What's the word I'm looking for? Like in the WWE, they've just seemed always like, just muscle to AJ Styles or Finn Balor and that, which
they were like, in this term they were like backup dancers.
Yeah, backup dancers exactly, and that. So, and plus I think Carl Anderson was injured in that, which is unfortunate. So I see these guys going back to. I know they had a TNA run, AEW run, part of the Elite. Maybe go back to New Japan, and that. I just think these guys are way too talented to be on the Indies at the minute. Isla Dawn was another shock as well. I thought, okay.
Yeah, that was honestly one of the biggest, probably the second biggest shock on this list.
Like her and Alba Fire I thought were good together. Obviously not. So yeah, I see her I can see her being somewhere as well. So hopefully she can find somewhere as well. Giovanna Vinci is unfortunate. The story was he was going to get a big push as Giovanna Vinci, I think. And then he lost that quick match to, I think, was it Apollo Crews? Did he lose to?
I think so. Was it Apollo Crews?
Yeah, lost in under 10 seconds, and then we haven't seen him since in that. So really,
I think he had a total of 2 matches.
Yeah.
After he split.
Really sucks because I saw the look with him and that, but obviously they just weren't happy in that. So hopefully he can find work as well.
If they had brought the NXT version of him.
Yeah.
To the main roster, that he would have just rocked.
Here's another one that shocked me. Electra Lopez, who was part of the Santos Escobar group as well. I forget. I'm brain farting on there.
Legado del Fantasma.
Yeah,
Legado del Fantasma.
Thank you. And that, it was. I thought she was good as the valet, and she wrestled a bit as well. And I don't know, obviously there are reasons behind there, and whatever reason is, we wish them all the best. Because number one, you hate to lose your job, especially like this. I know most of these guys are probably working 10 or so plus years, maybe even more, just to get to the WWE and then lose their job. Hopefully they can bounce back maybe return one day or find somewhere else to work and that. So, but yeah, she was a bit of shock as well. I did not mind her as a thing. And then recently, Carmella, which I know she hasn't wrestled because she was pregnant, wasn't she?
Yeah, she had given birth to her kid, and then she was on leave for that, and then she had, I think, a foot infection, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, yeah. It was just.
And she had needed surgery on that.
Yeah.
And then
with her release now, do you see? I know there's a lot of speculation with Corey Graves. Do you see him leaving?
Honestly, with that news, that explains Corey Graves' outburst. Was it a month ago or so?
Yeah.
That explains that outburst now.
Yeah.
To be honest, I don't see him leaving, not in the near future.
No, he's got still 2 years, unless he really wants it. Then the WWE grants him a release in that. It just sucks that he. I saw the worst announcers ever, and they had Pat McAfee on there, which I was pretty shocked at as well. So I still think a 3-man booth of him on SmackDown with him, Barrett, and Joe Tessito could work. But obviously, Joe and Wade Barrett have a really good chemistry, and that's so. I don't know.
And of course, you can't split up Michael Cole and Pat McAfee.
I mean, he could be on Raw. I'd just have a 3-man booth on Raw. I think it could work personally, and that I just don't know.
That trio would work.
Yeah, and that's so. Let's get into some AEW wrestlers. Of course, Miro was released, unfortunately. His last match was a year ago as well. They have not seen him in that, so hopefully we can get him back in WWE so we can start singing Rusev Day again. Because my God, that should have ended with him with a title run. That was so. It's kind of like Jey Uso was Rusev Day.
Yeah.
In that, so
because the thing is with Rusev, he got himself over.
Yeah.
That. That was not planned. And Vince, if you put yourself over, you're going to get buried.
Yeah, and then we had Malachi Black, who's apparently rumored to be coming back into WWE because Triple H really likes him and that. So,
and that might explain the whole Zelina Vega promo. I think she might be getting a push here soon.
Did I watch? I think I might have accidentally skipped over that promo from Zelina Vega, and that's so unfortunate. And then of course Ricky Starks, who we've seen in NXT as Ricky Saints, and that so. Obviously Ricky Starks, as he's named here, has
Oh, did you hear the chant during his match?
I didn't hear it. I forgot to watch NXT. What was the chant in these matches?
Oh, it was hilarious. Because the chant was all Tony fumbled.
I shouldn't laugh at that because I'm about to blast the crap out of AEW for what was a disaster, and that's so. Yeah, so, like I said, wish all those wrestlers the best of luck, and hopefully they can find work in that. So, we're going to move on. I just preluded it. I like to be positive, but we'll get onto the positive of Grand Slam in Australia here recently and that. Let's get to the positives before I get to the negatives as well. The biggest positive, I feel, every match had a wrestler either from Australia or New Zealand and that. So I was, number one, really excited that there was only 5 matches, I know, but there was at least one wrestler from Australia or New Zealand. So I'm really happy that we were representative. Number 2, the tag team match between Ospreay, Omega, and the Don Callis family is, I know it was given 5-star by Uncle Dave and that, but it truly is 5-star. If you want to see match of the year so far, go watch that tag team match because it is really effing good. Now let's get into the negatives as well. Number 1, Grand Slam used to be a 2-night.
Buckle in, everybody.
Yeah, buckle in, okay? Because I've been positive on AEW, and if this was WWE, we would both be samely negative with AEW and that. If you want to call me out, go for it and that. Number 1, the first big mistake they did was thinking they were going to fill a 52,000 seat arena in Queensland and that. They went from a 52,000 seat to a 13,000 seat, which apparently the guys that brought the tickets late got better seating than the guys who had brought the tickets early. That's the first big thing that they effed up on. Number 2, the ring was a bit smaller. Yes, okay, that's a bit of a nitpick by me and that, but if you've been used to, say, you're a wrestler. What would your wrestler name be there, Legion?
Uh,
I'm putting you on the spot.
no
sorry,
comment.
no comment. Let's
Yep,
let's call you Legion the Wolfie Wolfman. How about that? If you've been wrestling in an
80s name.
you've been wrestling in an 18 by 18 ring, and then you went to a 16 by 16 ring, you would feel the difference. Yes.
Oh yeah, 100%. It's like, for example, when TNA went from the octagon to the square.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I know they had to do it for reasons, and that it's fine, but don't that. And then number 3, the ring steps. There were no ring steps. They only had seats, or you said something else, stools. I think you said there were no ring seats and no ring steps in that. Imagine if Kenny Omega had been trying to get into the ring, went on the stool or the seat. I'm pretty sure it was a stool. You said correct?
Yeah, I saw a stool.
Okay, I thought I saw a seat, but we might have to go back. Say if he'd gone on that stool and twisted his ankle on that, can you imagine the uproar would have had? Why couldn't they brought steel steps to Australia? It baffles me, and the fact that Grand Slam used to be a 2-night event, it was a 1-night event, and they over here, I watched it. They had it as an episode of Collision. Is a disgrace. I'm so sorry to go off on them, and I don't know. I've seen the podcast with Jeff Jarrett saying it was a great event. It was a great event, but all the crap that happened like that was Bush League stuff. And this is from a company that in 2020, 2019, and 2021 was the best wrestling product, beaten WWE and that, and we get this crap 3 years later is Bush League crap. I am so sorry.
Yeah, I know this is like a saying on social media, but I'm going to say it. We need to study the fall of AEW. We really do.
All right, I'm done on that. Like, I feel really negative. I just had to get that stuff out. It was a great event, but they produced it as an episode of Collision when Grand Slam used to be a 2-night event.
And like it was, even though it was advertised as a pay-per-view.
Yes, advertised as a pay-per-view and that. And please tell me in the chat, whether you're here or on the YouTube, am I wrong? And that, had this been WWE, I would have gone twice as hard on WWE as well, because we expect better and that, and I expect better from AEW as well, especially coming over to trying to break into the Australian market as well. Like they did a lot of good things, but they effed up on a lot of things as well. So I'm just gonna move on from that. I'm sorry. How is that for a take?
Yeah, you can go on for hours on that. Oh yeah.
Let's talk about the WWE TNA deal, because I know we talked about it in the past, but we finally found out how long it is. It's to 2028 as well. So they're in like a 3-year deal. I think it's a 4-year deal now. So yeah, I'm very excited. What are you hoping that comes out from this deal as well? By the way, we're going to do spoilers here in a second for NXT Roadblock. So if you don't want to see spoilers, look away. And that I'll give you a bit of spoiler, and then we'll go. Okay.
One thing I wanted, one of the most things, it happened already on NXT. So with Moose and Obafemi, that's the one thing I wanted to happen.
I'll just quickly talk about. I was watching when Moose was cutting a promo on the Shield 2.0, which we haven't talked about as well. We probably, maybe in a later episode, we'll talk about Shield. Have they actually got a name yet, or they've just been referred to as Shield 2.0?
I don't think there's a name.
Okay, there's no name at the minute in that, so yeah. But he's calling him out for what happened at Vengeance Day. And then I heard Moose's music, and I'm literally like, no. And is it better than Joe Henry?
I was one of the ones watching, like, who's this? Because I'm not used to hearing his music.
No, I heard the music. I just went, seriously, no way. And that's
like, as soon as I saw the silhouette, my jaw, I'm just like,
yeah, which is
literal.
Which is set up a double title match at NXT Roadblock between Obafemi, the NXT champion, and the X Division champion Moose. Number one, thank you NXT for putting this match, because this is a dream match.
Yeah, and it's not just them two versus each other. It's title versus title.
Title versus title. We're both in agreement. We're talking about this off stream. I would not mind if Moose won the NXT title.
Yes.
I don't know how you guys. I don't know how you guys feel about anything, but I hope there's no, like, you know, it's a disqualification and that, because I feel... Just give Moose... Because Roadblocker, then they'll have Stand and Deliver, I think, 3 weeks later. I would not mind if Obafemi won the title back at there and that. Just have, like, Moose try and say he's going to take over NXT and, you know, Obafemi be the...
Let me ask you this. What if TNA and WWE had a thing going with this? And hear me out. Please don't cancel me. What if they unify it as one? Pretty much a one title that can be defended on either brand.
So it'll be the NXT... What would the name of the title be?
It's like the...
NXT X Division World title?
Something like that, yes.
I mean...
Like something along those lines.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't mind it. Like I said, I think for NXT... the partnership so far has been more dominant by NXT and that. I think TNA needs a win, personally. And I know they had a few wins in the matches and that, but I'd love to see that. And also, recently as well, spoiler alert as well. Well, not spoiler alert, but it's spoiler alert. The Hardys will challenge Faction for... Faction will challenge the Hardys for the TNA tag team titles at NXT Roadblock as well. So, good to see the Hardys back in WWE, and you want to go on more about the Hardys?
Yeah, and with the segue into the Hardys, if anybody read it into this, apparently there is rumored plans for the Hardys to have a main roster run as part of the NXT, or not NXT, as part of TNA. Into SummerSlam.
It would be one of the first... I can't think of someone from an actual other company having a main... Apart from Joe Henry, but, you know, that's been a couple of 1 and 2 time things and that, so I'm really interested to see where this goes. I'm glad the Hardys are back in WWE as well. You know, like it's I think this should be their last run personally, because every time
and they even I think they said this is going to be at least for Jeff Hardy, this is going to be his last run.
I was going to say every time
within WWE at that.
I was going to say every time Jeff Hardy goes to Swanton Bomb, I literally cringe and hope that he actually does it in that. So yeah. Anyway, that's a bit of the news that we've had, and that's so yeah. A lot of news and that, so yeah, it's okay. So we're going to segment into Legion's challenge of me, which I've written down. Do you want to go over Legion? What you challenged me to?
I challenge you to redo Jinder Mahal's entire WWE run.
I thought it was title run.
See if you can make it better than what it was.
I thought it was title run.
Oh yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah, okay. I was going to say his whole run. Well,
like that. This is not what I had planned.
I mean, I'll do the title run, but the whole run we can go in there. Okay. As you did, we got 6 points as well, and we're going to wait for my challenge at the end of the podcast because it's a doozy and that. And I did say it's going to be a pay-per-view, but it's going to be a doozy, and I think you'll really enjoy this challenge and that. So, the first point I would have on Jinder Mahal's title run, it starts before the title run. He was runner-up to Mojo Rawley at the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal at WrestleMania 33, I think. I would have him win it. Just to get a bit of a shock going, oh, wait, hang on a second. Jinder won the Battle Royal. What's going on here? I think, obviously, when Mojo won the Battle Royal, did it actually go anywhere? No. So, but we're going to go somewhere with Jinder in that. So, that's the number 1 point I would have. I would have Jinder win the Andre the Giant Battle Royal at WrestleMania 33. Then, a couple of weeks later on SmackDown, this is my point 2. There was a 6-pack challenge match where the winner would challenge Randy Orton at Backlash. In there was Jinder Mahal, Sami Zayn, Dolph Ziggler, Mojo Rawley, Luke Harper, and Eric Rowan. I would take Jinder out, and I would have Zack Ryder in, but here's the twist. Before the match even starts, there'd be backstage statement, oh, someone's been injured, it's Sami Zayn has been injured. We need to... Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan, who were the GM and owner of SmackDown at the time. Oh, we need to find a replacement of that. This is when Jinder Mahal comes in. And he's still got the Andre the Giant Battle trophy, and that's just showing over. And like Daniel Bryan goes, oh, do you want to be in this? We need to find a 6th person. You want to be in it? And Jinder's there. Okay, yeah. Not being heelish, just being a bit of babyface in that. So, and then in the 6-pack match later on, I would have Jinder win. That's shock number 2 as well. I'd have him pinning probably Dolph, I don't know, and that, so. the end of the match, obviously Randy Orton would come out and act a bit more heelish, just have a look at Jinder and just laugh and that. So, and then over the next couple of weeks of SmackDown, Jinder to be a bit more babyface, you say, hey, I've shocked the world once, I've shocked the world twice. Why don't I do it a third time at Backlash? And Randy Orton, playing off, going, ha, you're not going to beat me. I'm the Legend Killer. Who are you? Yada, yada, yada. And then, number 3, the match at Backlash. The one thing I would change, I would not have Jinder Mahal win. But I'd have him come really close. I'd have him actually have a really good, strong back and forth match where Randy Orton needs to do a roll-up or something like that to get the win in that. So, then the SmackDown after that, Randy Orton comes out and invites Jinder. Jinder is getting a bit of a, getting more babyface-ish and all that stuff. Randy shakes his hand and Jinder is saying, I was this close to beating you. I know I can beat it. Give me one more chance, please. Randy accepts, and that sets up for Money in the Bank, where they did face in that. So, and at Money in the Bank, I would actually have him win, but I would not have the Singh brothers. No offense to the Singh brothers, but if they're the muscle for Jinder Mahal, that doesn't work for me. I'm sorry. I would have a friend of his help him, and another friend of his help. I would have Randy Orton setting up for the RKO. We got 2 masked men come in. They, the ref is down as well. They beat up on thing, and all of a sudden we see it looks to be a spear from one wrestler to Randy Orton. It looks like a spear, but it's not a spear. And then Jinder makes the cover. 1, 2, 3. Jinder Mahal is the new champion. The 2 masked men are Heath Slater and Rhino, who were a tag team. And if you do remember, Heath Slater was part of the 3-man band with Jinder, which we get the after the thing we get a promo of the new 3-man band, which includes Jinder Mahal, Heath Slater, and Rhino. Of course, Jinder and I don't know if you find this funny. I envision Jinder and Heath playing the guitars and Rhino just air drumming in the background and that, not actually playing the guitar and that. So I just found that a funny thing in that. I'm trying not to give it a comedy thing, but I feel like it needs to be a comedy thing in that. So I would have them win. Of course, Drew was actually in WWE at the time. He was in NXT, and I prefer to leave him there at the minute and that. And Rhino and Heath are on Raw, but just bring them back to SmackDown and that. Jinder Mahal now fully heel with the new 3MB accepts the Orton rematch at Battleground in a Pujami prison match as well. I'd still keep that, but I'd have no Great Khali interfering in the match because he interfered and then nothing happened because of it. So I'd still have Jinder winning and then Jinder winning with the help of Rhino and Heath Slater. The 5th point, instead of Shinsuke Nakamura challenging for the title at SummerSlam that year, SummerSlam 2017, I would have Sami Zayn come out on a SmackDown interrupting the new 3MB and saying it was Jinder who attacked him and that's why I couldn't be in the match, the 6-pack challenge, and he wants revenge, so he challenges him to a title match at SummerSlam. And I would have Jinder escaping as well, but Sami putting on a good showing. And then that would lead to they had a Shinsuke had a match with Jinder at No Mercy later on in the year. I would actually have Shinsuke there and Sami Zayn just to give a bit of rub to Shinsuke as well, and I'd have Jinder winning. And then I end with I would still have AJ Styles beating Jinder for the title. I think we would want to see AJ versus Brock at Survivor Series, then Jinder. But yeah, that's how I'd improve the title match. So you can give me either a thumbs up or a thumbs down now, chat and Legion. What'd you think?
That's actually not a bad way to go about it. I think it would. I wouldn't say it would be 100% better.
Yeah.
When it came to the thing, but that'll become like a better programming for Jinder Mahal.
And that's all.
Instantly winning the WWE title out of nowhere.
Yeah. Like have the shock. Have the shock of him winning the Andre Giant Battle Royal, then again a shock, and then losing, but then winning. Like that's how.
Because his thing is he was known as a jobber.
Like that was the first match he won.
Or enhancement talent.
Yeah, and that was the first match he won. Obviously, WWE wanted to get into the Indian market, so they pushed him with that thing.
But,
you know.
But the thing is, isn't he really Canadian?
Yes, well, we won't say that, but anyway, yeah, that was the thing.
Nope,
so.
nope. Erase that from files.
Yeah, so, so yeah, I don't know what you thought that, but that's
but
just.
All I gotta say, that was like I like the whole fake babyface run in the beginning.
Yeah.
And then him turning out to be a major heel in the end, and especially with the whole Heath Slater Rhino thing.
Yeah.
I loved it. I would prefer that because them as baby faces, yeah, it was fine.
Yeah.
It was a good comedic run.
Yep.
But I think them two as heel in a heel faction would have been amazing.
Yep. All right. I do have my challenge for you, which I think you will enjoy, but we're going to talk about that at the end of the program and that, so we got to get on. My John Cena story. I know it's a lot of me talking. I do apologize on that, but sometimes I like to hear my voice. My John Cena.
You have the voice. You have the voice. I have the looks.
God, if I had your looks. Anyway. All right, let's go on.
You'd steal the show.
John Cena's last year in WWE Part 2. As you remember what happened at the end of Part 1, John Cena lost his title match at WrestleMania and went into the fit and attacked people and all that stuff. So, we start with the Raw after Mania. Triple H is shown in there. He's welcoming everyone. It's like him at WWE headquarters. He goes, "Good evening, ladies and gentlemen." Before we get into the program of Raw, I would just like to comment on what happened last night with John Cena's action in the world title match against Gunther. John Cena went in spite of the spirit of wrestling, and for that, he is not here tonight. He will be appearing here next week where we will be determined whether he still has a future in WWE or not. So please enjoy the program. And it ends with, then we get to Raw and all that stuff. The next week on Raw, we get the shots of outside of the headquarters and that they're saying WWE headquarters. We get to a big table. At one end is John Cena by himself. At the other end, we have Triple H, we have HBK, we have Adam Pearce, we have Nick Aldis, all the brass. Then we have Ilya Dragunov as well, which is a bit surprising. Triple H starts with saying, "John, the floor is yours. Explain your action for what at WrestleMania." John goes on, like how this is supposed to be his big last year in WWE. He got screwed out of initially being in the Elimination Chamber, had to fight his way in a gauntlet match to get back into the chamber. And then he gets his match and he loses by a dodgy ref decision. Like, it's just not right. Like, he thinks he deserves better than that. And then Triple H goes, "Well, why'd you have to beat the hell out of not only Gunther, who has got until Backlash to defend the title, else he won't be able to defend the title." And if there is a tournament for the title, you will not be put in it because we're not going to reward you for that. Ludwig Kaiser, who's out as well, and you even attacked someone like not only Ilya Dragunov, who's next to me, but you attacked R-Truth. Come on, John. John Cena stands up and he says, "Look, I made a terrible mistake at WrestleMania, and I'm sorry, but please, have me on a short-term contract, and if I put myself if I go out of line again, you're more than welcome to fire me in that." So they all talk to each other, and Triple H says, "Okay, John, we'll put you on a temporary contract and that. We don't know for how long and that. Probably for the rest of the year, John, but you're on a temporary contract and that. But you need to earn your trust, not only with us, but with the fans again and that." So next couple of weeks, John has matches on Raw against low league competitors and that. The week before, then Triple H comes out 2 weeks before Backlash, which is the pay-per-view I've got, and that. It'll be John Cena. Sorry, it's Triple H and Adam Pearce. It'll be John Cena will face Ilya Dragunov in a no-holds-bar match. Ilya dares John to take all his frustrations out on him again. John Cena says Ilya Dragunov will be the first step into redeeming himself. Obviously, the Backlash match, it's I want it to be a bloodbath as well. The match ends with John Cena making Ilya Dragunov pass out, not tap out, pass out to the STF. Like we could have it, like how he did it with Umaga, wrapped him in ropes and all that stuff. We're trying to make Ilya Dragunov look strong as well, because Legion has converted me to Ilya Dragunov. That's all I got to say, and that's yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
The Raw after Backlash, John Cena comes out, invites Ilya Dragunov into the ring, says put in a hell of a match. He sees all the potential in Ilya Dragunov and just wants to thank him for an amazing match at Backlash. But before Ilya Dragunov does go to shake his hand, we see the lights go out and up. It's the Judgment Day. Judgment Day is still together in my thing. That is in my world. That is Finn Balor, Dom, Carlito, and JD as well, and best wishes to JD as well. So they all attack the crap out of chairs and all that stuff to John Cena and John and Ilya Dragunov. After all the beatdown and all that stuff, we see a backstage thing with Ilya Dragunov and John Cena, going into Adam Pearce's room. They say they demand to take on anyone. They want to take on all 4 members of the thing, but Adam Pearce has an idea. He says, with the upcoming Money in the Bank pay-per-view in 6 weeks at the time, we do have a Saturday night's main event. I see a tag team match between Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio, versus John Cena and Ilya Dragunov. Here's the caveat on the match. The winning team, those 2 wrestlers, will qualify for the Money in the Bank ladder match. John Cena and Ilya Dragunov agree. They agree with that. So, 2 weeks before SmackDown, Finn Balor beats Ilya Dragunov when John Cena tries to help Ilya Dragunov because the other Judgment Day tried to, help Finn, and he accidentally nails Ilya Dragunov and cost him the match. And John Cena and Ilya Dragunov are fighting after the match, create a bit of tension going into the tag team match as Judgment Day are celebrating on the top of the thing. The week before Saturday night's main event, I really want to see this match because I think they should do this match. John Cena beats Dominic Mysterio in a really good match. Obviously Dom will shine in that. So we have the whole of Judgment Day belting the crap out of John, but Ilya Dragunov is nowhere to be seen in that. Like, you can see, I had this visual of John, pleading, help me! Ilya, where are you? Help me! And, no Ilya in that, so that's a funny image I had as well, if they want to do that.
I have nightmares now.
Sorry, chat. The promo at Saturday night's main event. Cena is backstage with Ilya Dragunov. He says, where the hell were you on Raw? And Ilya Dragunov, calmly is sitting down. He looks up at him and goes, Judgment Day had locked me backstage and that. And John goes, oh, okay. And as John is about to walk off, Ilya, says, hey, do you believe me? Just looking at him. A callback to a thing earlier on in that. So, John Cena looks a bit puzzled and just leaves in that. Anyway, Saturday night's main event, the tag team match. After a great match as well, we have John Cena and Ilya Dragunov defeat the Judgment Day and both qualify for the Money in the Bank 2025. Sorry, just let me get rid of that. I don't know if people saw that. 3 weeks before Money in the Bank, the Money in the Bank match is announced. It's 8 wrestlers. I know 8 is probably too much. I wanted 7, but I thought we had to have a couple of people in. So the participants in the Money in the Bank, they've already had qualifying matches as well. So the participants are John Cena, Ilya Dragunov, CM Punk, Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre, Jacob Fatu, Roman Reigns, and L.A. Knight. Yeah, sorry, I had to do that. We always have to do that now with LA Knight. Anyway, John comes out, starts to start Raw, thanks Ilya Dragunov, and him and Ilya Dragunov are going to Money in the Bank, and that he's got a promo saying how the Money in the Bank will be his way to get the shot at the 17th world title, and that when he is interrupted by LA Knight. LA Knight comes out, says he knows he's on SmackDown, but he's come out here since Money in the Bank, and he proposes a match tonight with John Cena. And I'd like to see that match as well. LA Knight versus John Cena would be a hell of a match, I feel like. And that the main event, they've had like a good 10-15 minute match where, unfortunately, shenanigans will end the match in that, where Drew McIntyre claymores both of them. And then, then he's just pointing at the Money in the Bank briefcase, which was just hanging above him and that. and that ends Raw. 2 weeks on the SmackDown. I don't know if you remember when it was Chris Jericho, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Cesaro, I forget the Dean Ambrose, and I forget the last person. Alberto Del Rio, where they're all on the ladders and that. We've got a similar promo like that with the 8 men have a promo on SmackDown. And that. No fights, nothing happens untowards and that. It is then announced at the end of SmackDown that there'll be an all-star 8-man tag match on Raw before Money in the Bank, which will feature Cena, Ilya Dragunov, Punk, and Seth against Drew, Drew's team, which is Roman Reigns, LA Knight, and Jacob Fatu. How could all these teams work with each other in that? So it ends up with the team of John Cena's team beating Drew McIntyre's team, and that as Cena AA's LA Knight. After the match, there's chaos and that, and the last man standing is Jacob Fatu as well. Yes, I know, would CM Punk, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns end like that? Probably not, but this is my story. And that. Money in the Bank. After a grueling match, John Cena knocks off Jacob Fatu after a low blow to win the Money in the Bank. I could have gone with all spots and all that stuff, but, you know, I do apologise. I had to shorten it up a bit due to reasons and that. So, but that's the ending of the match as well. So, and that after the Money in the Bank pay-per-view, in a promo that can be seen on WWE.com, Adam Pearce congratulates John Cena, who is now a 2-time Money in the Bank winner, and says that Nick Aldis has picked up his contract, short-term contract. So now John Cena is no longer on Raw. He is on SmackDown now. If he wants to challenge for the world title, he can do that. As John is there looking and shocked in that, we see Cody Rhodes' team. I don't know if you remember Cody Rhodes' team. I have of Cody Rhodes, Ricky Starks, now it's Ricky Saints, Wardlow, Randy Orton, and Ethan Page walk past. Look at John, have a bit of a smile, and then just walk off. John looks confused. End of part 2. Your thoughts?
Yeah.
I understand having CM Punk and Roman lose a match in that. That could be a bit of a nitpick in that, but I wanted to make like an all-star Money in the Bank match, and I think having them two in and that, they would obviously take each other out, and they would actually be in a match at SummerSlam. I would have. So yeah, that was my part 2. Part 3 will be next time. And that. So
I'm still loving that you included aliens.
Well, it's unfortunately unfortunately the last we'll see Elliot for a bit. So yeah. Anyway,
we won't see him till the end of the year.
I don't know
if you're talking about your story, then never mind.
Yeah. You just probably spoiled my story. But anyway, let's get on to Elimination Chamber, which is this week as well, in Toronto as well. So I'm kind of glad that it's been back in Toronto. Let's go over what I think the first match will be. It'll be the women's chamber match as well. I need to get the people who are in there. Don't mind me. We've got Bianca Belair, Naomi, Bailey, Roxanne Perez. Who are the other two, if you can name them for me? And that
I'll list them all. There's Liv Morgan, Alexa Bliss, Bianca Belair, Bailey, Naomi, and Roxanne. It's
made it interesting for, as I said, I think most of these guys this is will be the second or third chamber. With Liv Morgan, this will be a 5th chamber match, and that. So I'm really interested to see. It's interesting to see now with Liv and Raquel winning the tag titles on Raw as well. I got a bit of a prediction. I think Bianca and Naomi are going to start, and we'll see where it goes from there. So,
that would be interesting.
Yeah, it's obviously them losing the titles, where they're going to go from here, because we still need to see who is the person who attacked Jade Cargill. By the way, I think it's going to be Bianca, and that a much needed heel turn.
I'll give my predictions on that at the end of this.
Okay, at the end of this. Okay, so. As I said, Liv Morgan has been in this 5 times as well. So, like I said, she is my Miss Elimination Chamber. I don't see, as much as I love to see Alexa Bliss winning, I don't see her winning. I unfortunately don't see Liv, since they won the tag titles. I don't see her winning this and that. And plus, Liv and Rhea, I kind of with everyone else. we're kind of, you know, over it a bit. Let's move on to something else and that. I don't see Naomi winning, unfortunately. Like, I think she's now the Dolph Ziggler stage where she puts on the good matches and elevates other people and that, which, you know, maybe she could have one more title match. I don't know. I don't know what you think and that, but yeah. Bayley, I know she moved to Raw recently, but I don't see Bayley winning. Which comes down to my final two. By the way, with the Elimination Chamber, we pick our winner, but we pick who the person they beat as the last person. As much I would love to see Roxanne Perez win this. I'm on that Roxanne Perez train as well. I would love to see Roxanne Perez win this. I don't see it happening. I see Bianca Belair winning this. Your thoughts on this chamber match, Legion? Have we gone the same one as well?
Get out of my head, please. Normally, I would like veer a little bit with what you said, but word for word, what you said, you like read my script.
I actually got your script over there, so I was just reading off it. It just makes
over my shoulder.
It just makes sense. Like Liv just won the tag titles. Does. Yeah, why would she win?
The thing is, I want the way because I, of course, already given right there. But you have my final two. You have my winner right there.
Yeah.
But I see Roxanne, like them teasing Roxanne winning.
Yeah, and I pray they do it as well. Like that women's NXT roster is so stacked. We also forgot to talk about another title for title match at Roadblock as well. Julia and Stephanie as well. I'm sorry to go on that, but that's something we forgot about as well.
Yep.
By the way, I predicted that as well. So yeah. Anyway, let's move on before.
Ooh, you got my prediction on DM. So.
Yeah, I have Bianca winning for 1 point as well, and I think the final two will be Bianca and Roxanne. Not that it's any points, but do you see Bianca starting with Naomi now?
With that one, to be honest, I see Bianca starting with Roxanne, then starting it off and then
starting off any off like Batista and Taker did in the day. Okay.
Yep, exactly.
I kind of want to.
I have
yeah, go on.
I was gonna say I had them for 2 points, so we can get that scratched off our list.
Okay. Okay, 2 points as well for you, and you have the same one as well, don't you? I'm just
exact same pick.
Exact same thing, and that. So yeah, I see. Like I said, I'd love to. I'm one of the things we forgot about talking the Rumble as well. The return of Alexa Bliss, which I think that was. Oh. I popped off for that. I was glad to see her back as well. So
I probably many people agree. I think she got the bigger pop between her and Joe Hendry with her returning.
Had Joe not appeared up until WWE until that moment, I think the pop would have been insane for Joe. But
yes, it would have.
But I think like if Alexa Bliss, like she, you know, like I actually don't, like I said, I see Nikki Cross maybe interfering in the match as well, costing her the match to set up them two, and that. So are you good there?
Yeah, sorry, like my dog's just like going all over the place right now.
I thought you might have been doing. I was going to say, right. So we both got Bianca Belair winning at that. You got 2, I got 1.
Yes.
Let's go on to. I think that then they'll have the tag team match between Tiffy and Triffy time, as they're now known. You see the what's its name? The merch for that as well. Really good merch as well.
Oh, I haven't seen the merch. I gotta look that.
Yeah, Tiffany Stratton and Trish Stratus to take on Candice LeRae and Nia Jax.
Say her last name again.
Nia Jax.
No, not her.
Candice LeRae. Am I butchering it?
LeRae. You got the R and L backwards.
Sorry, speech impediment. It's all good.
And then Ray.
Le-Ray. So we'll now turn into a speech English teaching thing as well. So
pronounce your L's, class.
Can I ask you before we get into this match? How do you think the Tiffany face turn has gone?
If I'm gonna be completely honest, it creeps me out a little bit. I'm not used to seeing her as a face.
It does not suit her character. Remember when she first?
Don't get me wrong. She's trying. It's like because she's always since her debut in NXT to the main roster, she's always been a heel. It's like the Randy Orton effect. It's
also for me. It's like when they tried to because when she debuted in By the way, I think Tiffany is an amazing. I just think never turn her face, leave her as a heel, which sucks because we're all going to cheer her over Charlotte Flair, of course, when it comes to that.
But do you think she'll work as a tweener?
Maybe she'll work as a tweener in that, but she started as a I don't know if you saw the early on NXT back in 2022, I think it was, but she had Daddy's Money, and she was like had Daddy's Money as her backup.
She started that, but then it just failed, or that persona failed horribly.
Yeah, it kind of
she just dropped that part.
It kind of reminds me when they tried to turn Alberto Del Rio face, and that it's the exact same thing. Why are we going to cheer this guy? And
the thing is, the difference is his face run was actually really good. It's just people weren't picking up on it.
Yeah. It's good to see Trish back in, of course, Toronto, and that. It's interesting to see where do you see Candice and Nia going after this? Obviously, they're not going to be in a title match. Maybe a tag title match, maybe a fatal 4-way.
I see them winning the tag titles here
at Mania. Okay, yeah.
Maybe.
Mate, it's going to be interesting to see how many matches are going to be at Mania as well, and that. This tag team match, you're not going to have Trish return match and have her lose in her hometown. For me, it's Trish and Tiffany. Say that 3 times quick, and that's my lock. That's Triffy. That's my lock as well. That's 4 points. What are your thoughts on the match as well?
Honestly, this is not one of my highlights, but I want to see how they push Tiffany to show how ready she is for WrestleMania main event.
Yeah.
Because right now it's like people know her. They know how she is in NXT, like how great she was, but her main roster run hasn't been super exciting. If I can use that.
Yeah.
It's been exciting. Don't get me wrong. It's just not been like, oh my god, I can't wait for it. It's like we really haven't really seen what she can really do on the main roster until she won the title.
And I think we need good face opponents at her. I'm just trying to think of a good face. Maybe the thing is Alexa Bliss as well. She's more of a heel. I would still cheer her unless
she's heel-ish.
Yeah, heel-ish. Unless she had that stupid entrance song again, then I would seriously boo her in that. So anyway, that's my biggest nitpick with Alexa Bliss. While they went from the goddess music to that, it was a joke. Anyway,
yeah, you're telling me.
Yeah.
And I was a huge Alexa Bliss fan.
Yeah. So we both got them winning.
Yeah, we both got Trish. But I have Tiffany pinning Nia.
Oh, that's right. Forgot about that.
Yeah, that's your rule.
Yeah, no, that's my rule. Yeah. I'm the same with you. I got Tiffany pinning Nia as well. So.
And I have this for 3 points.
Oh, you have this for 3. This is not your lock. I'm interested to see what your lock is. All right. You have to remind me about the pinning. Who is that? I really want this to be the main event, but I don't think it will be. Let's go on to the unsanctioned match between Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Can I say one thing?
This deserves to be the main.
This deserves to be the main event. I really hope it is. If the men's chamber comes on first, then this will be the main event, and I really hope it is, because this has the potential to be match of the year. When Kevin Owens did that first promo saying he blames Sammy, he made all the good points. I thought, yeah, why didn't Sammy help him? I was going, yeah, let's cheer Kevin and boo Sammy. But then I realized,
that's the thing. Is because if you watch the match, if you remember watching the match, Sammy was conflicted on what to do. Yeah. He wanted to help, but because he's friends with Cody as well. That's why he's he wants to help Kevin, but he doesn't want to cost Cody.
Yeah.
He was conflicted.
Well, like I said, if you guys have seen the matches these guys have done before they went to WWE, they've done a lot of good matches in WWE. But the fact that this is unsanctioned, get ready for a bloodbath, and that I think.
Because when you brought it up, I went to a little digging. I saw a couple of the Ring of Honor matches. It's ooh.
If
I hope if they do some of that in here. Oh, that's match of the year. Match probably not match of the year, but one of the if not one of the top matches of all time.
If they are given permission by Triple H, which I really hope he does, give them basically let them call the match how it is, and that this match could go anywhere, and that I think Kevin Owens will win. I think I don't think Sammy will get. I think Sammy will get the win at Mania if they decide to do this at Mania. I don't think they will. I think Kevin Owens and Orton will be at Mania because I expect after the match happens, after the match ends, and that I think Kevin Owens will get ready to put him into a package pile driver again. Then Randy will make the save, or maybe Randy will interfere in the match. Who knows in that? But I see, unless Randy interferes in the match, I see Kevin Owens winning and that, and I think Kevin deserves the win because he's like the losses he suffered against Cody and that, and Sammy has got a bad neck and that they played that up and that, so I think Kevin should win. And that. What about you? What do you think on this match?
Yeah, I agree with you on this one. Like with Kevin winning, like he needs this win. Yeah, 100%. Mm-hmm. Sammy, yes, he's the face. Everybody wants him to win, but I don't see him winning this. I'm more on Kevin Owens on this since the very beginning, actually.
Yeah.
And he needs this win.
By the way,
I predict, like you said, predicted Owens versus Orton at Mania.
Yep. By the way, the Kevin Owens heel run has been amazing, and I hope later on in the year, I hope he gets the title. And you know who I think he should defeat for the title?
Cody?
John Cena.
Oh! The person he met when he first came to the main roster.
WWE, you can hire me whenever you want. My
Pretty
people.
Much, no. Oh, that's genius.
Mm-hmm.
No. His John Cena's final match.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Kevin Owens.
Yep. Mm-hmm. That's what I think it should be.
Owens beats him on his main roster debut, and then Owens beats him in his retirement. So he beats him on his debut, beats him on his retirement. Oh, yep. Genius.
Yep. Thank you. I'm here all week. Anyway, how many points you got, Kevin Owens?
This is my lock.
This is your lock. Okay.
Yes.
Like I said, I had this for 2 points, and I feel like maybe Kevin is about to win, and then Randy Orton comes out, and Sammy gets. I hope they don't do it like that, but that's.
No, I see that. If Orton does return, I see it happening after the match because I see Owens just like demolishing Sammy even after the match.
Before we get to the Elimination Chamber match, we obviously should talk about Cody and Rock. What do you think Cody's answer will be, and how do you see this playing out?
I'm gonna save my answer till after.
Save your answer till after. Do you think
it ties into my prediction?
It ties into the Elimination Chamber. Okay, right here. Well, while we're talking about it, let's get on to the Elimination Chamber. Can I give you some stats before we get into the Elimination Chamber?
Yeah, you do it.
So, there have been 36, including the females as well, 36 Elimination Chamber matches. This will be John Cena's 8th Elimination Chamber, and he has won 3 times so far. This will be CM Punk's 5th. He's had 1 win. This will be Drew McIntyre's 4th, but he has had 2 wins. Probably the best strike rate, apart from Triple H, I think, anyway. Then we got Logan Paul with his 2nd, Damian Priest with his 2nd, Seth Rollins with his 4th, and they have not won yet as well. Oh, they could go so many ways with this. I think there's only 3 winners that can happen, personally. I don't see, as much as I would like to see Damian Priest, because he's copped a lot of crap lately, and I do not see it. I've loved Damian Priest's work and that, even when he was a champion as well. It did start off badly, but that match with Gunther at SummerSlam was his best match he's had in a long time and that, so I obviously don't see him winning and that. Logan Paul, I can understand why they put him in. Obviously, to get the non-WWE guys, hey, Logan Paul's in a wrestling match. Let's have a look at this.
Star power.
Yeah, the star power on that. So, but like, as I said with Logan, I've enjoyed his work. He plays the heel perfectly, and that. So, who do you see Logan Paul having a match at Mania?
At Mania? That's rough.
Let me put this past you. This has been rumored. Braun Breaker versus Sheamus versus Ludwig Kaiser versus AJ Styles versus Logan Paul, and I'm missing out on one person. I forget the one person.
Recently Finn Balor.
No, Finn Balor's got a different match at Mania, and that's at the minute, and that's so. I forget the other person that in a ladder match for the IC title.
Well, they teased it recently.
And I would actually have. I know people will want Sheamus to win, but I would have Logan Paul win the title. And that anyway, that's we could talk about WrestleMania match and that. Let me get back onto this. Sorry, I like to go.
You just got cancelled.
I know all the people. Like people would hate to see Logan as the champion, but they'll have to tune in to Raw. See when he.
Well,
gets
look at his U.S. title run.
Hopefully it's not that terrible. Anyway, I don't see Logan Paul winning. I have loved Drew McIntyre's heel run and that. And if Kevin Owens is not going to end John Cena's title run, I think it should be Drew McIntyre. And that's if it's not Kevin Owens, I'd have Drew McIntyre because I think he deserves it as well. And that. Then we get down to the 3-man. One of these 3 is winning in that. The rumored triple threat match between Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, and CM Punk. Unless there's a stake at it, I just don't see how they can make me interested in this match. Would I love to see this match? Yeah, but I'd love to have a stake to this and that. So, I know he's heavily favoured. I see John Cena winning, and it was a toss-up. They could go either way, but I think if the stories are true that Roman's going to interfere, I see him costing Seth Rollins. It's going to be the last 2 are going to be John Cena and Seth Rollins, and John will win. Give me your thoughts on this match, and do you agree with me or not?
Who do you have winning? Sorry,
John Cena.
My mind. Oh, John Cena.
Yeah, I have John Cena winning.
I think everybody would have him winning. I kind of disagree with that, to be honest. Actually, let me change my final 2. Sorry.
No, you're all good.
Here's what I have in mind, because the way I see this starting is to 2 people that need to go at it first, which is Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre.
Yep, I see that. I don't want to see.
They have a history.
Yeah, I don't want to see that match at Mania. I know that's rumored to be a match at Mania. I would like to. I don't want to. I think they could be better off used anyway. Anyway, go on. Yep.
If they have it at Mania, I'm not going to complain. But this is going to be like probably one of the best men's Elimination Chamber matches in recent history.
Yep.
In my opinion.
Yep.
And I see it coming down to just these 2 people, because we see Drew McIntyre possibly winning, Damian possibly. It could be anybody of these other, except for Logan Paul.
Yeah.
It could be any of the other 5. But I see it coming down to John Cena and CM Punk.
Yep.
I see it coming down to those 2 100%.
Yep.
And I see John Cena getting robbed again. Punk win it.
So what is John Cena's... I'm curious, if you don't have him winning here, what's his match at Mania?
That... I was actually thinking about that, and hence why I changed my final 2. I see him facing Logan Paul.
Oh, if... God. I really hope... I'm sorry, but I hope you're wrong. I do not.
Because it's like... Because I've seen... snippets about that possibility. I don't know if you have.
So you have CM Punk beating John Cena in that.
Have him pinning John Cena. Yes.
And then this ties into I'm guessing Cody Rhodes will come out do a stare down with CM Punk.
It ties into it in a way, yes.
And then the final boss. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, because what I have is, of course, Cody refuses. After a long fought thing, he refuses The Rock, right?
Yep.
And then The Rock pretty much says, "You'll regret that decision." Blah 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 blah.
Yep.
Come Mania time, it's gonna be, of course, CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes. This is CM Punk's main event, and he doesn't want to squander it.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So during the main event, of course, everybody's out. And I mean, everybody's out.
Yep.
Like
kind of like last.
What's ending? Like the ref's out.
Ah, okay.
Like out.
Yeah. Yep.
And Cody's knocked out. So then next thing you see him like waving from the back. Because next nobody's coming. He gets on the mic, goes, "Get your ass out here, Paul Heyman."
Oh,
I'm cashing in that favor now.
Okay.
And he whispers into Heyman's ear. Of course, Heyman looks terrified. And of course, Heyman walks to the back, and Punk continues on doing his thing. The match continues. The ref finally kind of comes back too. And then all of a sudden, you hear Rock's music go off.
You're going to keep going? Oh, this is Legion's fantasy booking as well. Yeah, I like it.
And then Rock comes out and just he gets in the ring.
Yep.
And he looks at and it just pretty much turns the match into a no disqualification.
Kind of like what Vince did 17 with Austin Rock.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yep.
And Punk's just standing there watching. And they're doing a stare down because they remember their heated tension.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because Cody Rhodes stumbles up, Rock turns the Rhodes, Rock bottoms him, and then Punk covers him for the win.
I mean,
turning him into corporate Punk.
So it'd be corporate. What's an M word we could use? Corporate man Punk.
A what? A what word?
An M.
Oh, okay.
Jesus.
Okay.
You know, like it's like we say CM Punk. What does it stand for? Chick magnet. I've used Charles Montgomery, and that it could be. Yeah.
Corporate man Punk.
Yeah, corporate man Punk. I like that, and that. So, I mean, it would be a fitting way. Like, obviously, you had the big moment last year where Cody finished the story, and that. So,
pretty much, he gets his main event.
Yeah.
He gets the win main event, and he gets the title.
Yeah.
And he is the Rock's champion on top of it.
Yeah. Do you think?
I can see it going in that route.
I could see it. I could see exactly the same thing, but instead of like I would see Paul Heyman betraying CM Punk, and Rock would rock bottom him, and Cody would be a heel, and Cody would actually be the Rock's champion, and that. Like, I could see it either way, and that like.
But because the thing is, they like to swerve you, thinking like he's gonna do it.
Yeah.
And it goes the other way.
I think I know CM Punk's like character would do that as well, and that, but yeah. Would you be cheering for Cody to go after the title again? Is the thing. Like, I'm kind of
very much. I would be cheering for him to get his revenge.
Yeah. I mean, I could see that. Anyway, back to the Rumble. Back to the Chamber. So you have CM Punk winning for a point.
I have CM Punk for 1 point. Yeah.
And pinning John Cena as the last two.
And pinning John Cena as the end. Yeah.
Well, what an Elimination Chamber it's going to be. You can see it right here on this channel. I'll get the times and all that stuff. Stay tuned to Twitter and all that stuff. So those are our picks for Elimination Chamber. And that's the end of the show. But before we go, let me just get my thing as well. And if you guys want to give your picks for Elimination Chamber, you can put it in the video. Video will be going up how soon after this? I'll probably have to go somewhere quickly after this.
It'll probably be up in the morning.
Up in the morning and that, so. Yeah. Oh, the outro. So my challenge to you, and you're going to enjoy this. I know you gave me a crappy one, but I'm giving you probably your dream. There's a pay-per-view I want you to do, and that. Let's just pull it back a bit as well. So, I'll get to that as well. Thank you, Trophy, as well. Appreciate it. With the WWE TNA deal, I want you to do a pay-per-view for me. NXT versus TNA War Games. Here is what I want you to do for me. 6 matches, maybe 5. One has to be the War Games match. And the War Games match, Captain TNA by Joe Henry. NXT is captained by Obafemi, since they are both the champions at the time. With the current rosters, you give me 6 matches. If you want to give me the outcome of the matches, you can. That's fine as well. That is my challenge to you. Enjoy.
Repeat to me the captains so I can make sure I got this good.
So the TNA captain for the War Games match is Joe Henry, since he is their champion. And Obafemi is the NXT captain. Is that fine with you?
That's perfect.
Yep. If you want to give, like I said, the rosters currently at the time, if someone gets released and that, I'll understand and that to go for it and that. So, but I like to see, like, obviously the champions are in the main things. Maybe the tag team champions have a match. The North American champion versus the X Division champion have a match. I don't know. You might want to have Moose in the War Games match, but like I said, number one thing I want to see is the War Games match in that. So, yeah. That is my.
I'm gonna be creative.
Yep, this is my challenge to you. Enjoy that, and remember, I gave you a good challenge,
Whoa.
so give me a good challenge next time. And that.
Yeah,
so.
I gave you a really crappy one, so you gave me a really good one.
Yeah, because I might actually do my own. I might actually do my own version as well. So, anyway, that's the podcast. But before we leave, once again, thank you, Legion, for joining me as well.
Yeah.
We're both video game fans as well. This is my question for you as well. We've just recently seen the announcement of WWE 2K25 to have over 300 wrestlers in the game. Like, no roster has ever come close to this. And they've announced,
just the base game.
and that's just the base game. We've got DLC coming as well. So, my question to you guys is, if you're video game fans as well, we're going to get a TNA DLC. I guarantee it. I'll book my money on it as well. What 6 wrestlers would you like to see from TNA? I'll give you time to think about this, Legion, but here are the 6 I would have. Oh, sorry, 5. I'm going to say 5 because Joe Henry's going to be the first choice, obviously. So,
oh, 100%.
Yep, this is my remaining 5 I would have as well. Let me find where my list was. Don't mind me. Here's the list as well. So, obviously, Joe Henry, since he's the TNA champion. I would have a classic AJ Styles. I'm thinking from maybe 2003 to 2007, depending whatever you guys think. I would have Abyss, since he is currently in the WWE as a producer, and that because I think his character was the greatest supernatural character besides Taker and Kane, and that's just my opinion. I would have either, we need a female there, so I'd have either Gail Kim or Awesome Kong, one of those two, since I think they're the biggest female people that I can think of. I think Gail Kim was the first female TNA wrestler in the Hall of Fame, and that, so I'd have her. And then tag team. See, I was thinking the Machine Guns, but they're going to be DLC down the track. Bank on it. They're going to be with Penta, Julia, and Stephanie, the guys that missed out. I was thinking, what other tag team? Do you want me to get the music up so you can listen to it as well? What other tag team? I mean, obviously Team 3D was there, but then this team, I love this team song. It's probably my favorite TNA song as I'm getting it up. Do you have any? I'm just getting it up now. So this is the TNA team I would have in. Let me just. We've got an ad there, so we love ads here, and that I'm actually going to buy the YouTube thing where I don't have any more ads because it's starting to really annoy me. What about you guys? Who would you have? I think Joe Henry is a lock, but this one here is the tag team lock in that because the other guy did appear. Like one guy did appear in WWE, had a good run. The other guy appeared in NXT for a bit. I think this team. Are you ready for the music, Legion? You want to hear it?
Yeah, I have it up. Oh, I agree.
Probably I'll start off there before I get DMCA and that, and so that would be my team and that. But before we go, Legion, who would you have as your?
I would have to agree with your first two because your first two was like one of my top 2 picks.
Yeah.
With Abyss and the old style AJ Styles.
Yep.
Back in the day. I honestly, if he wasn't part of AEW, I would have said Samoa Joe.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Samoa Joe as well. Yeah. Yep.
Well, we can't pick him because he's an AEW contract right now.
Uh-huh.
But if you're gonna go with tag team, Beer Money's a good one, but also the Rascals.
That's a bit recent as well. I do like that as well. So
yes.
And
if you're gonna go with female,
yep.
Why not Mickie James?
Yeah, that's true. I forgot about Mickie James as well. I think she's going to be in. I think she's already been confirmed in. Anyway, as a legend, I'm pretty sure. I don't know if someone could confirm for me.
No, her TNA version, not her WWE.
Oh, TNA version. Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah. I'd love
hardcore country.
Like, I'd love to see the Beautiful People. If you guys have never heard of the Beautiful People, go watch. That was a really good team. The Angelina. I'm
gonna give everybody a little taste of whenever they came on screen. Here's every straight male out there.
And also the original Angelina Love version, not the one where Lacey Evans was in there, because that was a pretty terrible run, and that's just my opinion on that. So,
Lacey Evans.
Not Lacey Evans. Sorry, Lacey. Lacey Von Erich. Sorry, my bad. I mixed up the names in that.
Yeah,
so.
I was like Evans. She was in.
Yeah, I meant Lacey Von Erich. Anyway, that's our podcast again. Thank you for our Legion and that. Enjoy your time at work and that. I know you got caught up pretty late and that.
Yeah,
So
I'm irritated.
well, we got through this. We got through a really good show as well. So thank you guys for joining us for the pay-per-view. Sorry for the podcast and that. I'm going to end here. Then I'm going to talk about my situation that's happened to me over the last few weeks and that. So once again, we're going to do the outro, and then I'm going to give it a bit of minute because I got to do the thing for Topi as well. But thank you, Legion. I will see you Sunday as well.
Yeah.
My Sunday, your Saturday, of course. So yeah. Hope you guys enjoy the Elimination Chamber. Once again, give me your picks for a TNA pack if it was to come to WWE. Your picks for Elimination Chamber. Just all that. So I really do appreciate you guys for joining us for the podcast. And we'll see you next month for the WrestleMania podcast, which will be a really long episode of that. So until...
I gotta find a suit.
Do I need... I actually will get a suit as well. So until next time, here's Legion.
Yeah.
And I'm Sugar Ray. Enjoy wrestling. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.